Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to tonight's edition of Talking Point. I'm your host, Syed Neaz Ahmed. In our studios today, we have a gentleman who has had a very active life, in his own words, from the paddy fields of rural Bangladesh to United Kingdom. He is none other than Mr. M A Matin, a structural engineer, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Engineers, and he's also, on the side, chair of the North London Bangladeshi Association. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for coming along. Thank you for braving London traffic.
Thank you.
London traffic is never better on a Friday.
You are used to it now. It gets.
From Dhaka Polytechnic, that is where you obtained your first
Engineering little training,
degree, diploma, bit of training. From there to Kaptai, to Camilla, to the United Kingdom. It's been a long journey of experience, of meeting people. Could you retrace your steps? Could you tell us something about how interesting, how boring, how exciting it was?
Yeah. It was exciting. I started from the very basic engineering course, a diploma in civil engineering in Dhaka Polytechnic.
By the way, you also wanted to become a doctor, but
originally, after passing matriculation examination in those days, I had first division with 2 letters, and in those days it was very unique in those days. So I wanted to become a doctor.
Yeah, well, now let's go back to Polytechnic.
Yeah. So Polytechnic, because there was all courses closed, so I came to see Dr. Rashid, who was the vice principal in engineering in
Ahsanullah Engineering College.
He said, "Baba, you lost all the
dates have been
subject.
Gone, yes.
So instead of wasting another year, you just got into it.
Yeah.
Eventually, your line will be clear later on if you are clever." So I went to the Polytechnic. I finished in 3 years.
Was it a 3-year or 4-year?
3 years course. But every year I got all the scholarship because I was the only first division holder in that course.
Yes.
And all other people, that was not a course for the brilliant people.
You did very well in all the
so finished that
exams.
As soon as I finished the course, there was a Kaptai project in that. I just dropped a line. That
was this hydroelectric project?
Hydroelectric project.
And you worked for an American company?
American company. I just dropped a line, a few lines, then we finished the course, and I've been top all through. Immediately they asked me to go and see them and started to work with them.
Great.
So,
and you were back in Camilla for something?
Then it was a private company. Then I thought I should go back to government service.
Right.
So I came to, there was an advertisement. So I wrote to them. In those days, you were just writing plain paper application form. And with all my career things, this one engineer, he asked me to come and join. So that's I came and started working. And his name I wrote in my book, it was Fazlul from Modbaria.
And how long did you work for the government?
I only worked for maybe 2 years. Then I said, I should go and see my area where I come from, Sylhet. So I asked him to send me there. So he sent me there to work in, they used to call section officer in those days.
You are from Chinaru Ghat in
I'm from Chinaru Ghat, so I was based in the Sylhet town. So there I worked for a few months. And then the opportunity came that British government wanted workers to work in England.
Right.
So I just applied for a worker,
building
worker. Immediately within 2 weeks, I got a letter, job voucher to come to this country.
Well, you had the qualifications.
Probably it helped.
Yes.
Probably.
Because a lot of unskilled people were also coming at that.
That's right. So it helped. But immediately when it came, there was the end of the year, I cannot come. My engineers, the bosses, they said, no, you cannot unless you finish all the bills.
Were you unhappy at home, or was
it
just
I was
excitement
happy.
of...
excitement of moving around, because I was happy all through.
Yes, that's what I see.
I was happy all through because, I had some basic thing. It was not many people going through this
You had worked hard, you had a good job, and then you joined the government, and then suddenly you decided to pack it up and
No,
come out
because I
UK?
always wanted to go further studies and wanted to go, because in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, there was no other scope for
Right.
evening studies and working.
Right.
And I knew about it in England, we can do work and study.
You can do sandwich courses.
That's right. So I'll come to that later on. Sandwich courses came later on after
Right.
1966.
Right.
With Tony Benn started it. Before that, it was evening courses he
Right.
to do
See.
it.
When you came to London,
Yeah.
I know that your journey from Dhaka to London was not direct, and it was
No,
it was via Rome.
by Rome, and it
And you
was
had the
Karachi, Rome. Free trip. And I
see the
had a
Rome
chance to see Rome for a
city.
few days free, all through.
But when you arrived here, was it winter? Was it summer?
It was 11th of August,
Okay, so not bad.
63.
Not
It
bad.
was good.
Not bad.
Warm time, yeah.
Okay. How did you find the situation here at that time?
At that time, there were not many Asian people.
Right.
First, black people I've seen in the airport of Cairo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
in airport was only one terminal.
Well, Egypt is in Africa, so
Africa,
it's
yeah.
not unnatural to see.
Unnatural. Then we Rome also I met a few African. So airport was not so busy. My plane was delayed so many days. Still there was a young boy, younger than me. He wanted to receive me. He used to live in Southwall. He came from Sylhet.
Yep.
And he found out that which day my plane is coming,
Right.
and he was in the airport.
It
So
must have been a relief for
quite
you to
a
find
relief,
somebody
but I
who...
was not scared because I was, from the beginning of my life, I used to well read. I used to
Right.
read what goes on.
Great.
So
You write in your memoirs that wherever my life has taken me, I have always remembered my roots and remained committed to the well-being of my homeland.
I
And of
do
course,
that.
homeland and
Yeah.
people from the homeland.
From my homeland, yes,
So-
I've done that.
When you came to London, you were received by somebody whom you
That's
knew.
right, yeah.
Then you moved to Birmingham.
The reason I moved to Birmingham, as I said, I was fairly well read. Staying in a city in London could be expensive.
Right.
So I thought it would be better to go to small town. There I'll be more comfortable.
Birmingham is no more a small town.
Smaller than London. But I
Yeah,
was
it's the
homely in
second
Birmingham.
biggest town in England.
Yeah, but I was smaller than London, but Birmingham
Sure.
was homely.
Yeah.
There are quite a lot of technical colleges and university, plus job opportunities there, plus my people of my community were there.
Right. See.
Quite a lot of people I used to know in Sylhet as from my contractors. They used to live in
Right.
Birmingham.
Right. See.
So I felt homely in Birmingham. So
Okay. You got a job with, after a few jobs, you got a job, you landed at a consulting engineers
Called
called
Trustcon.
Trustcon.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that in your memoirs that you were offered an £11 weekly, and that must have been a princely sum of those days.
A lot of money.
Lot of
that
money.
was a lot of money in those days. And I couldn't believe it. I thought £6 a week, but the gentleman says, you are attending evening courses.
Mm-hmm.
And not many people were attending courses in those days. So £11, after a few weeks say, I think we should pay you more.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, he didn't pay more, but in 6 months' time, he paid me more.
He allowed you to attend evening
Oh,
classes,
yeah.
day
That time
classes.
I attended evening courses. But as soon as I don't know whether I should come, that as soon as Tony Benn became the minister there, 64,
Yeah.
Tony Benn, yes,
After the 63 elections.
63 election, there was a revolution in technical education. He was minister of
Right.
technology.
Right.
So it's a no evening courses. Those who are attending evening courses, they will attend day courses, and
Right.
the employer must pay for it.
Right.
So it was a lot of relief for me.
So the employers paid for the...
Employers paid for whole day, and we attended course. But
Yes.
on this one, we had to work half day on Saturday.
Right.
So that took
So you had to repay in some
a bit
in
of
some
it.
way.
So
Yes, a bit of
compromise. So it was good. It was good, and attending courses and working, it got double benefit.
it. How was the work ethics? Did you, I mean, patients were they welcome?
No, there were not many. There were not many Asian people in
accommodation?
this. There are not many Asian people in those days in professions. So I didn't have any problem. But mind you, you have to be more, a lot better than your companions to do better in those days.
Right.
But I didn't have any problem. Engineering was my.
Did you have any problem in finding accommodation?
Few weeks I stayed with our friend's house. Later on, I went to an English lady's house. And she was so thrilled. She said, I have a Pakistani son who goes to university. And her family, none of them went to university. And in her area, not many, as I said, in those people, they used to do all level, not even 16 finished education, they did everything. Even my bosses were not chartered engineer or graduates in those days. So it was good time. I had also good.
How were the work conditions? I mean, not for you, but for those who were in, as we read the sweatshops where they were like factories.
I will not be good. I will not be in the right position to.
Right.
Because I didn't work in a factory.
No, you did not. But did you have chance to talk to people who did?
Talk to, but people from our country, they were hard-working people.
Yes.
They worked hard, but they didn't mind. They had time off. They didn't mind. Their time and money was good, so they didn't much complain. There was no strike in those days. No strike, no complaint.
And then the weekend was short, isn't it? The weekend was maybe a half Saturday and then
half Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
And Sunday people used to go Hindi cinema. They're busy with this one, and that's it. And my weekend was in the library to do homework. And I used to meet them only on Sunday morning in Pakistani shops. It's the only chance to meet them. So, no, but there was peace in those days. There was no strike like this.
After your having obtained the qualifications and you became a member of the Institute of Chartered Engineers.
Structural engineer, yes.
Structural engineer you are. What does structural engineering involve?
Structural engineering means it's a civil engineering. Civil engineering more to do with the design and mathematics side of it.
Right.
So in civil engineering, you do little bit of everything, master of everything. Structural engineering, we do specific, the building of the project, it will work or not. So you need a certificate from a structural engineer to finish the job.
I mean, is it safe for habitation?
It is the safe.
And how many shocks of can it sustain?
Later on, probably I will write the last 10 years of my job, I did only certifying engineer.
Right.
Once I certify, this all through goes through.
Right.
And so far, inshallah, nothing has fallen through yet.
You are talking about this country?
In this country, of course. Also, I have not worked in any other country. That's the country.
But you did work in Ghana for 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, but that was a consultancy job, but that took me.
Right. Here the construction is different. I'm not talking about the big blocks of flats. I'm talking about the normal houses.
That's right, yeah.
Semi-detached, detached, and townhouses and all that, terraced houses.
Yeah.
And they're not that high, so the structure is pretty simple, isn't it?
Very simple. But the main thing here in this country is planning and safety.
Right.
These are for the council people, they look after whether it go through the system.
They also attach a word health.
That's
health
right.
And safety.
Yeah, these are the things. But structurally, for building work, you don't need a big structure.
Right.
Anyone can do certify that.
Right.
But officially, they also, in every office, there is a structural engineer. He oversees what goes on.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. We'll take a break here, and when we come back, we will definitely talk more about the structures of a structure.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. We'll be back soon after this short break. Thank you.